Can the hero stand up to it? The culminating moment arrives. Naturally, placing all his will into his fist, the hero finishes off the second glass. And to the amazement of the Germans, he again refuses a tidbit. Since then, the expression, "Russians never take a bite after the first one," has become a stock phrase among the people, although this is not really just. In the majority of cases, Russians have a bite after the first one, and the second one, and after all following ones. Russian aristocrats and merchants have worked out an intricate classical system of what you eat with what you drink. For example, when you drink vodka, the recommendation is to have boiled and jellied sturgeon with horseradish, red caviar, and finally, the apex of all snacks, sturgeon caviar. The tradition to eat heavy when drinking vodka and moonshine comes from the countryside. The village snacks are very simple. Boiled potatoes, meat dumplings, pickled mushrooms and vegetables, buns with cabbage and meat. All this is so appetizing that more and more bottles find their way to the table. That is how, to the accompaniment of a Russian accordion and drinking songs, meetings and partings take place in a village hut, with happiness and sorrow their whole life. Together with the people, the country traditions with lots to eat migrated to the cities. Russian women are famous for their hospitality and eagerly prepare the snacks the day before the guests are to arrive. The first toasts at a Russian table are always to the health of the guests and the hosts, and it's expected to praise the culinary abilities of the hostess. If there's a birthday at an office or a national holiday, all staff members get together at their work tables. On that day, all women are exempt from work. It is their holy duty to prepare the snacks for the merrymaking of the employees. How many people began to flirt at such collective drinking bouts at offices? How many comedies and tragedies had their beginning at an office table laid out with drinks and snacks? And the people who drink in backyards have a tidbit with what God has sent them, or to be more exact, what they could find in a neighboring store. The choice is rather meager. If you're lucky, a can of fish. More often you can find eggs, bread, and cucumbers and tomatoes in the summertime. Everyone brings to the common table whatever he was able to procure. But the ordinary people consume these simple snacks with the same appetite and dignity as those in flashy restaurants. For one and the other, a drink and a snack are all part and parcel of one wonderful process. Incidentally, both procedures can be combined to create something new and really stunning. If you put pieces of rye bread into a pot and pour in a bottle of vodka over it, you produce an original dish called the tura, a combination of drinking and eating. The fanciers of tura are basically Siberians and the military, thereby attaining an amazing effect. Intoxication after a bottle of vodka poured onto bread and eaten with a spoon is the same as drinking 2 or 3 bottles from a glass. So tura is a dish for those strong in spirit. But if you're really dying for a drink, as they say, you're on the brink, and there's no time to look for a snack or you've run out of money for a tidbit, there is one tested way out. After taking down your drink, have a whiff of your cup. In replying to the intriguing question, how much does a man drink in Russia? One can be evasive. It all depends. Millions drink. They drink everywhere, out of shot glasses, ordinary glasses, and straight from the bottle. There are the weak ones who keel over after the first glass of vodka, and there are record holders who can take down from 3 to 5 liters per day. According to statistics, every adult in Siberian cities consumes 40 liters of pure alcohol annually, which is the equivalent of 100 bottles of vodka. That's the average, but everything depends on the individual. The main thing, as wise men say, drink, but know when to stop. Unfortunately, many do not adhere to this sacred rule. Special police squads ride around day and night in the cities looking for those who broke this rule. Lying around in the streets and in doorways, these persons, KO'd by alcohol, are all brought to a special establishment which has no analogy in world practice, so-called sobering up rooms at a police station. There are a number of these rooms in every major city. Policemen and other staff members never have a dull moment. The inebriated are undressed, sent to the shower, and after registration are sent to a room resembling a bathhouse. The clientele here is really exotic. You can come across a university professor and a die-hard criminal, an alcoholic, and a student who had one too many at a party. This is the place of dreams come true of universal equality. Hundreds of thousands of people in every city found themselves at one time or another in this amusement room.
Это свой мужик. Это свой мужик. Это комия сэр.
Most unusual are the sobering up rooms for women. It should be mentioned that drunkenness and alcoholism among women has unusually spread in the last few years. The ladies who had one too many are much more violent than the gentlemen, and the policewomen here have to hold back a genuine attack. Usually, the female clientele either emit fiery, incoherent speeches or sing. Some fall into a depression, others cry, and still others, in a very good mood, laugh continuously. Why not enjoy yourself in good company? Those who are particularly rampant simply have their hands and feet tied. Many women, often with reason, consider that they were brought here by mistake. They are the ones who fit into the category violent. The following morning after the night before, for all who had one too many, and this is nearly 1/2 of the country's population, is really a tough time. There's the splitting headache, nausea, and general fatigue. All those who have gone through this more than once know there's only one remedy, and that is to have an eye opener. During the abortive coup, the the plotters really got loaded. At the press conference on the following day, one could notice the shakes. If they had had an eye-opener in time, the history of Russia would make it different. There are many ways to get over a hangover. The most popular non-alcoholic beverage is the brine of cucumbers, cabbage, and other vegetables. Especially refined artistic creatures prefer sour milk or juices. The most popular drink to get over a hangover is beer. In their search for a drink to put out the fire, swarms of men make for the kiosks, which are usually short of glasses, and if you add a bit of vodka to the beer, then everything begins all over.